The Lego Story. How Failure Built the World's Favorite Toy. Welcome to the world of Lego. Have you ever stepped on a Lego brick? If you have, you probably remember it. That sharp pain, the unexpected surprise. But beyond the physical sensation lies something deeper. That tiny brick represents something magical. Creativity, perseverance, and childhood dreams that never grow old. Lego is not just a toy. It's a story of vision, failure, and an unshakable belief in the power of imagination. This is the story of how a small wooden toy company from a tiny Danish town became one of the most beloved brands in the world. It's a story of fires, failures, near bankruptcy, and brilliant comebacks. It's also a story about people, ordinary people who dared to dream big. And most importantly, it's a story about you, because the world's favorite toy only comes to life in the hands of dreamers. Let's go back to the beginning. The carpenter from Billund. The year was 1932. The world was in chaos. The Great Depression was spreading like wildfire across continents. Families were struggling. Businesses were collapsing. And in the tiny town of Billund, Denmark, a humble carpenter named Ole Kirk Christensen stood at a crossroads. He had just lost his wife. His workshop was barely staying afloat. The demand for furniture had dried up. And yet, he still had 4 sons to feed and a roof to keep over their heads. Most people would have given up. But Ole Kirk was not like most people. He believed that doing things right was more important than doing them fast. Above the entrance to his workshop, he carved a phrase in wood that would become his life's motto: "Only the best is good enough." It wasn't just a slogan. It was a principle. When commissions for furniture dried up, he started making smaller items: ironing boards, ladders, and stools. Nothing fancy. Just things people actually needed. But times were hard, and even these were hard to sell. That's when an idea struck him. What if he used leftover wood to make toys? At first, it seemed foolish. How could someone sell toys when families could barely afford food? But Ole wasn't just thinking about profit. He was thinking about hope, about giving children something to smile about in the darkest of times. So he began carving small animals, trucks, and miniature pull-along ducks. Each toy was carefully sanded, painted, and polished by hand. No shortcuts. People noticed. The toys were beautiful, durable, safe, full of charm. And slowly, word spread. A few shops placed small orders. Then a few more. The toys didn't make him rich, but they gave him something far more valuable: a new purpose. In 1934, Ole Kirk named his company Lego, a word made from the Danish phrase "leg godt," which means play well. What he didn't know was that the name also had a hidden meaning in Latin: I put together. It was a coincidence, or maybe fate. Either way, Lego was born. But the journey was just beginning. Fires, failures, and faith. Surviving the impossible. Ole Kirk's tiny factory breathed with the smell of freshly cut pine. Every morning he unlocked the doors before sunrise, lit a small iron stove, and hummed Danish hymns while sharpening blades. The clang of chisels and the hiss of wood shavings filled the shop like music. Then came the night of March 20, 1942. A single spark leapt from an old stovepipe, landed on a pile of lacquer-soaked shavings, and roared to life. Flames raced across ceiling beams, swallowed racks of half-finished toys, and burst through the roof in a pillar of sparks. Billund's volunteer fire brigade arrived with hand pumps and buckets, but the wind was merciless. By dawn, Ole Kirk's workshop was nothing but smoldering charcoal. Years of sketches, molds, and savings, gone. He stood in the ashes, clothes still smelling of smoke, staring at twisted metal and blackened walls. Employees expected him to declare bankruptcy. Instead, he gathered them in a circle and said softly, "Det bästa rika för goat. Only the best is good enough. We start again, today." They rebuilt. Friends donated lumber. Neighbors lent hammers. Competitors quietly sent bags of sandpaper. Within 6 months a new, larger factory stood on the same plot. But 1942 was only the first blow. Ration coupons and empty shelves. World War II tightened its fist around Denmark. Wood was rationed, paint was scarce, and rail freight was unreliable. Lego's order books filled with back orders they couldn't ship. To keep people employed, Ole taught his craftsmen to carve every scrap of off-cut into tiny details: duck beaks, wheels, windows, nothing wasted. One evening his teenage son Gottfried eyed a box of discarded wooden blocks. "Far, what if we make these into simple building bricks? No wheels, no paint. Just smooth blocks children can join together." Ole smiled. "Make 20 sets and we'll see." The blocks sold out at the next village fair. But scarcity worsened. In 1943, the Danish government slashed electricity quotas. Machines sat silent half the week, and workers sanded toys by candlelight. A second inferno. Just 3 years after the first blaze, a faulty motor overheated and ignited sawdust. Flames again devoured the factory. Insurance covered only part of the damage. Gottfried, now in his 20s, pulled his father aside. "We can't afford another rebuild. We should quit." Ole rested a soot-covered hand on his son's shoulder. "If a skipper abandons ship in a storm, who will save the crew?" He paused. "Courage is remembering what you believe when everything is burning." With loans from a sympathetic bank manager, they rebuilt once more, adding concrete floors, fire doors, and overhead sprinklers. Locals started calling Ole the Phoenix of Billund. Yet the greatest gamble still lay ahead, hidden inside a small cardboard box mailed from England. From wood to plastic, a bold bet. In 1946, a traveling salesman arrived at the factory clutching a shiny red rattle. It wasn't wood, it was cellulose acetate. Plastic. He explained the wonders of a new, injection molding machine, from Britain's company Kittycraft. With it, one could press molten plastic into any shape, fast, cheap, consistent. Most Danish manufacturers laughed at the idea. Plastic smelled funny, looked cheap, and felt fragile compared to oak or beech. Wartime propaganda had even painted plastic as a novelty that would never replace honest wood. But Ole saw possibility. He ordered the first injection molder in Denmark, paying a sum that equaled the factory's entire annual profit. When the crate arrived, workers gazed at the contraption like villagers meeting a Martian. It hissed, clanked, and leaked oil. Early output was disastrous. Pieces warped, colors bled, molds jammed. Plastic parts piled up like confetti on the factory floor. Locals whispered that Ole had lost his mind chasing futuristic fantasies while customers still wanted wooden ducks. Gottfried's experiment. One rainy Sunday, Gottfried pored over a small catalog from Kittycraft. He noticed a simple interlocking plastic brick invented by British designer Hilary Page. The studs on top fit into hollow tubes underneath, letting children build walls that stayed together better than plain wooden blocks. Yet the clutch was weak. Towers toppled with a shake. Gottfried spent nights tinkering with dimensions. What if the brick had twin inner walls that gripped the studs? After dozens of tests, he clicked 2 prototypes together. The connection felt perfect, tight yet releasable. He sprinted across the factory yelling, "Far! The future is here, and it's stud and tube." Ole examined the pieces. They were light, precise, virtually unbreakable. He nodded slowly. Let's call them automatic binding bricks. And let's see if children love them. Skepticism and slow sales. Retailers were unconvinced. Wooden toys had soul. Plastic seemed cold. Shelves already overflowed with tin cars and dollhouses. Early brick sets sold in plain cardboard boxes with modest graphics. Sales trickled. A rival toymaker joked, "Billand is selling colored ice cubes." But Ole and Gottfried doubled down. They refined the molds, standardized bright primary colors, and printed instructions showing tall houses, bridges, and castles, objects impossible with traditional blocks. They changed the product name to a single, punchy word, Lego. In 1949, Lego produced 200,000 plastic sets, small by modern standards but revolutionary for a wooden toy shop. Parents wrote letters praising how the bricks kept children quietly occupied for hours during rainy Scandinavian winters. Yet trouble loomed. Plastic supply fluctuated. Machines broke often. Some bricks warped if left in sunlight. A shipment to Sweden arrived fused into a single glob because boxes sat near a ship's boiler room. Each setback fueled gossip that Lego should return to honest wood. The turning point, the system of play. While riding a ferry to Copenhagen in 1953, Gottfried overheard a toy shop owner lament that most playthings lacked coherence. They sell a fire truck today and a dollhouse tomorrow, but nothing connects. That night, Gottfried sketched an idea in his notebook. Lego must be a system of play. Instead of random sets, every piece, from windows to wheels, would share the same stud pitch and tube spacing. Yesterday's bricks would fit tomorrow's sets, forever. It was a radical promise of backward compatibility years before computers adopted the term. Parents loved the idea of eternal value. Kids loved the endless expansion. Sales climbed, saying goodbye to wood. To meet demand, the factory split resources, half wood, half plastic. Ole, now in his 60s, still cherished the scent of fresh pine, but acknowledged the numbers. Plastic sets outsold wooden toys 3-1. Maintenance costs on saws, varnish, and drying kilns soared. In 1956, the Christiansens made the most painful decision in company history. They would phase out wooden toys entirely. Some employees wept. Generations of carpenters feared they'd become obsolete. Ole reassured them. "We're not abandoning craftsmanship. We're changing the material of imagination." They retrained woodworkers as mold technicians, color mixers, and quality inspectors. Job losses were minimal. Pride returned when former carpenters watched children in the town square build 5-foot towers that didn't topple. But just as success seemed secure, destiny delivered another blow, one that would test the entire concept of the Lego brick itself. The brick that changed everything. In 1958, after years of trial and error, Gottfried and his design team filed a patent that would transform Lego from a toy into a global language of play. They had perfected the stud and tube coupling system, ensuring each brick clicked into place with a firm grip but was still easy to remove. The new design allowed for incredible structural stability. Towers could grow higher, walls stayed firm, and constructions became more complex. It may have looked like a simple plastic brick, but it was a masterpiece of engineering. That year, Ole Kirk Christiansen passed away. Just days before the final patent was filed, he walked through the factory one last time, nodding silently as workers packed shiny red bricks into cardboard boxes. His life's mission, to make high-quality toys that brought joy, had taken shape in a form he could only have dreamed of. The new Lego brick became the foundation of everything. Gottfried, now at the helm, was determined to expand. He believed the Lego system could be a universal platform, something children from any country could understand without words. just bricks and imagination. The company launched themed sets, houses, fire stations, police cars, all built on the same core brick format. It was simple, scalable, and genius. Children loved the idea that every set they bought could be combined with the last one. Parents loved that the toys were durable and timeless. In the following years, Lego began exporting to Germany, Switzerland, the UK, and Sweden. Each market responded differently, but one thing was constant: the brick worked everywhere. By 1960, Lego was selling more than 45 million bricks per year. But growth created pressure. More demand meant more molds, more machines, and more staff. And then, the unthinkable happened, again. Crisis and creativity. Losing grip on the toy world. In 1960, disaster struck once more. A fire, the third in Lego's history, tore through the wooden toy warehouse. The losses were massive. Over 350 models of wooden toys were destroyed. Smoke curled through the skies of Billund again, and memories of the earlier factory fires returned like ghosts. But this time, the Christiansens made a bold decision. There would be no more wood. Lego would now be a plastic-only company. It was a turning point. Risky, but it allowed the team to focus all their energy and resources on perfecting the plastic brick system. Lego expanded rapidly throughout the 1960s. In 1961, they launched the first Lego wheel, opening up new possibilities: cars, trucks, buses. In 1966, they introduced the Lego train system, complete with electric engines. But as Lego grew, so did the competition. Other toy companies began producing similar plastic block sets. Knockoffs flooded European markets. Lego fought back by improving design, strengthening trademarks, and doubling down on innovation. Internally, the company also faced challenges. Gottfried was a visionary, but he struggled with the demands of a growing international business. Managing factories, distribution centers, marketing teams, and product development was no longer a one-man job. Tensions rose within leadership. Then came the 1970s, the era of color TV, video games, and action figures. Children's attention was shifting. Toys now had to be fast, flashy, and exciting. Traditional building sets started to seem slow and old-fashioned. Sales dipped. Retailers reported growing shelf space for action heroes and shrinking space for construction sets. In 1974, Lego responded by launching the Lego family figures, simple human shapes that could interact with the sets. They were blocky, immobile, but relatable. It was a step in the right direction, but still not enough. Lego needed something more, something iconic. And in 1978, they found it. The Reinvention. How Lego rebuilt from near bankruptcy. In 1978, Lego unveiled what would become its most iconic creation, the Lego minifigure. These tiny, yellow characters had smiling faces, movable arms and legs, and could wear hats, carry tools, or sit behind the wheel of a Lego car. Suddenly, Lego sets weren't just buildings, they were worlds, filled with stories and characters. It was a turning point. Children could now create narratives. They built towns, cast the minifigures in roles: firefighter, astronaut, chef, pirate, and told their own stories. The brick had become a stage, and the child, the storyteller. Throughout the 1980s, Lego flourished. They launched themes like Lego Castle, Lego Space, and Lego Pirates. Each came with characters, accessories, and new building elements. Sets became more elaborate, packaging improved, and instruction booklets encouraged creativity. But success brings its own problems. As the company grew, complexity increased. Lego began developing thousands of unique parts, doors, hinges, panels, specialty pieces. The brick library exploded. Production costs soared. Logistics became a nightmare. By the late 1990s, Lego had strayed from its roots. In a bid to stay fresh, the company launched Lego Galador, Lego Jack Stone, and other experimental themes. Some included massive pre-molded pieces that couldn't be reused easily. Others ignored the basic system of play. Sales declined. Worse, 2003 marked the company's first financial loss, and it was huge. Lego was losing nearly $300 million per year. Employees feared for their jobs. Retailers reduced shelf space. Internally, morale sank. Many said Lego was finished. Just another nostalgic brand that couldn't survive the digital age. But not everyone gave up. In 2004, a new CEO named Jørgen Vig Knudstorp took over, the first non-family member to lead the company. He was young, analytical, and brutally honest. His first move? He asked, "What makes Lego truly Lego?" Then he did something radical. He stopped the company. They canceled dozens of unprofitable product lines, simplified the brick catalog, and sold off Lego's amusement parks. The focus shifted back to core brick-based sets, smart themes, and the system of play. Designers were told, "Build only what children can rebuild in their own way. If it's just a toy to look at, we've failed." It worked. Lego returned to profitability in 2006. But the real magic was yet to come, not from inside the company, but from the outside world. Enter the fans, AFOLs, and the power of community. While Lego struggled in the boardroom, something unexpected was happening in basements and bedrooms around the world. Adults were playing with Lego. They called themselves AFOLs, adult fans of Lego. Engineers, teachers, architects, and even doctors were building massive castles, working robots, and scale models of cities, all from Lego bricks. They gathered online in forums, created fan websites, and shared photos of their creations. Some even hosted Lego conventions in hotel ballrooms. At first, Lego's leadership didn't know what to make of it. Why were adults so obsessed with a children's toy? But Knudstorp saw an opportunity. In 2005, Lego launched the Lego Ambassador program, inviting adult fans to share ideas with designers. They encouraged fan-built projects and even began co-creating sets with the community. The results were astounding. Some of Lego's most successful themes, like modular buildings, Lego ideas, and Technic masterpieces, came directly from fan submissions. One fan submitted a model of the NASA Saturn V rocket, complete with accurate scaling and design. After gaining thousands of votes online, Lego turned it into an official set, and it became a global bestseller. AFOLs weren't just buyers. They were co-creators. Lego embraced the movement, organizing events, sponsoring competitions, and promoting fan creations on their website. Community became a core part of the brand. This connection between company and customer transformed Lego into something unique, a brand that listens. A product built on trust. A canvas for collaboration. By 2010, Lego had fully recovered. The AFOL movement proved that creativity has no age limit. The brick, once designed for 5-year-olds, was now a medium for art, engineering, and storytelling across generations. But Lego wasn't done reinventing itself. The next challenge? Conquering the digital age. Lego in the digital age, games, movies, and beyond. By the early 2010s, children were spending more time on screens than with physical toys. Smartphones, tablets, and gaming consoles were everywhere. The digital world had become the new playground. For a company built on plastic bricks, this was dangerous territory. Many toy brands struggled to adapt. Some faded. But LEGO decided not to fight the digital world, they would join it. The rise of LEGO video games. LEGO's first real breakthrough in digital entertainment came with LEGO Star Wars, the video game, released in 2005. Developed by Traveller's Tales, it was a humorous, family-friendly take on the popular movie franchise, told entirely with LEGO characters. It was a massive hit. Kids loved the gameplay, parents loved the humor, and most importantly, the game introduced millions of new fans to LEGO, some of whom hadn't touched a brick in years. This success sparked a wave of LEGO video games: LEGO Indiana Jones, LEGO Harry Potter, LEGO Batman, and dozens more. Each game told a story using LEGO's charm, comedy, and modular creativity. By 2015, LEGO games had sold over 100 million copies worldwide. The LEGO movie phenomenon. But the biggest surprise came in 2014, when the LEGO movie hit theaters. People were skeptical. Could a 90-minute commercial about toys actually be good? It wasn't just good, it was a cultural phenomenon. With its witty script, fast-paced action, and emotional depth, the LEGO movie turned plastic bricks into real characters. Emmett, Wildstyle, Batman, Unikitty, they all became household names. And its message struck a chord. You are special. You are capable of amazing things. You don't have to follow the instructions. That wasn't just a movie quote. It was LEGO's philosophy, wrapped in humor and heart. The movie made over $450 million globally. It sparked sequels, spin-offs, merchandise, and a new generation of fans. Kids who had never built a LEGO set before suddenly wanted to create their own worlds. LEGO wasn't just a toy anymore. It was a storytelling platform. LEGO Education and STEM. Beyond entertainment, LEGO also entered the classroom. With lines like LEGO Mindstorms and LEGO Education, the company provided tools for schools to teach robotics, engineering, and coding using LEGO bricks. These sets let students build real programmable machines, from walking robots to self-driving cars. Teachers embraced the system. Learning through play proved powerful. Children learned complex STEM skills without even realizing it. LEGO became more than fun. It became a gateway to the future. But as LEGO looked ahead, the world offered more than markets and profits. It offered a deeper question. What can LEGO teach us about life? Lessons from LEGO. What the world's favorite toy teaches us. It's easy to see LEGO as just a toy. But when you step back and look at the journey, the fires, the failures, the reinventions, the community, a different picture emerges. LEGO is a metaphor for life itself. Here are some of the timeless lessons hidden inside those colorful bricks. 1. Start small, build big. Every towering castle starts with a single brick. You don't need to have the full picture on day one, just begin. Lay one piece at a time, and trust the process. 2. Failure is part of the blueprint. LEGO has burned down, gone bankrupt, and been written off. But each failure became fuel. If something collapses, rebuild it stronger. That's not just business advice. That's life. 3. Imagination has no limits. There are no wrong LEGO creations. You can follow the manual, or make a spaceship out of a sandwich. Creativity doesn't need permission. All you need is courage to try. 4. Systems make freedom possible. Ironically, LEGO's freedom comes from structure. The bricks fit because they follow rules, dimensions, spacing, clutch power. In life, some boundaries allow us to go farther, not hold us back. 5. Play is serious work. Old Kirk once said, "Children deserve the best." He believed that play wasn't a break from life, it was preparation for it. Problem solving, persistence, imagination, they're all trained through play. 6. Community creates value. Lego's greatest innovations came from listening to fans, families, and builders of all ages. Collaboration turns products into movements. 7. Never outgrow joy. There's something special about hearing a click as two bricks lock together. That sound carries a feeling of simplicity, focus, and fun. No matter how old you are, that joy still matters. So the next time you see a pile of Lego bricks on the floor, remember, you're not just looking at toys. You're looking at a philosophy built on color, connection, and endless possibility. The future is imagination. As Lego entered the 2020s, one thing became clear. The brick is timeless, but the way people play keeps evolving. Children today build both in the real world and the digital one. They mix Lego bricks with apps, animation, stop motion, and augmented reality. They build on iPads, share on TikTok, and livestream their creations to the world. And Lego? It's evolving with them. The company has embraced eco-friendly bricks made from sugarcane-based plastic, aiming to phase out oil-based materials entirely. Factories now run on 100% renewable energy. Lego knows that building a better future means protecting the planet kids will inherit. They've also launched the Lego Replay program, which encourages families to donate old bricks to schools and children in need, because creativity should never be wasted. Lego has partnered with NASA, Marvel, Nintendo, Adidas, and even Van Gogh's Starry Night. But despite all the collaborations, one truth remains. The most powerful Lego set will always be the one you build from your own ideas. The future of Lego is not about more pieces. It's about more imagination, more stories, more builders. And you, yes, you, are part of that future. Whether you build alone in your room, with your kids on the carpet, or with friends across continents, you're part of a global movement that believes in creation over consumption, in wonder over boredom, in possibilities over limits. Because when you snap two bricks together, something magical happens. You take control, you shape the world, you build your own story. And that is the future Lego has always believed in. Epilogue. Built to last. Old Kirk never saw the skyscrapers built with his bricks. He never played Lego Star Wars. He never watched Emmett save the universe with a banana spaceship. But he believed in something bigger than profit. He believed that children deserve the best, that toys matter, that play is sacred. From the ashes of fire, from the brink of bankruptcy, and from the doubts of skeptics, Lego rose not because it was made of plastic, but because it was made with purpose. So the next time you feel lost or stuck, remember this. Pick up a single piece. Place it down, then another, because no matter what you've lost, you can always build again. The bricks behind the screen. Lego movies that moved the world. It all started with a bold question. What if we made a movie about Lego? To many in the film industry, it sounded like a bad joke. A toy company trying to break into Hollywood? Using plastic bricks as the main characters? But in 2014, when the Lego movie hit theaters, the world was stunned. What people expected to be a 90-minute product commercial turned out to be a cinematic triumph. Directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the film combined slapstick comedy, breathtaking animation, and a surprisingly deep message about creativity, conformity, and self-worth. The characters? All made of Lego. The action scenes? Filmed to look like stop motion with real bricks. The soundtrack? Catchy, chaotic, unforgettable. Everything is awesome, remember? But the magic of the Lego movie wasn't in its polish. It was in its heart. At its core, The movie told the story of Emmett, a completely ordinary construction worker who was told he was the special. It questioned whether greatness comes from following instructions or from breaking them. And it reminded us that imagination is what gives life to the bricks. Global success. The movie was a smash hit. It grossed nearly $500 million worldwide, received critical acclaim, and earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song. But beyond the box office, something more powerful happened. Millions of people rediscovered Lego. Parents took their kids to toy stores. Teenagers started building again. Adult fans shared their mocks, my own creations, online. And most importantly, families built together. The movie reignited the Lego movement, expanding the Lego universe. Following its success, Lego expanded into a full-fledged cinematic universe. The Lego Batman movie, 2017, a hilarious take on Gotham's Dark Knight with an emotional core about loneliness and friendship. The Lego Ninjago movie, 2017, blending Eastern martial arts tropes with teen drama. The Lego Movie 2, the second part, 2019, exploring sibling rivalry, growing up, and learning to play together. Each film was animated with meticulous attention to Lego physics. Bricks moved, broke, and built exactly as they would in real life. Even explosions were made from Lego fire. This attention to detail won fans' trust. It felt like the movies were made by builders, for builders. But perhaps most importantly, Lego movies reinforced a simple truth: you are the builder. Whether you're a child or an adult, whether you build from a manual or your imagination, your story matters. Impact beyond the screen. Lego movies had far-reaching effects. 1. Revival of physical play. After the first film, Lego sales surged. Specific characters like Benny the 1980s spaceman and Unikitty became set bestsellers. Kids wanted to recreate what they saw on screen. 2. Cross-generational bonding. Parents who had grown up with Lego now had a cultural bridge to play with their kids, through humor, movies, and shared storytelling. 3. Lego as an art form. Animators, editors, and voice actors began to see Lego as more than just a toy. It became a legitimate medium of expression, similar to clay or paint. 4. Parodies and lessons. The humor was clever, the references sharp. It mocked consumerism, celebrated individuality, and inspired viewers to look beyond labels like special or average. As the credits rolled and the final bricks clicked into place, one truth remained: Lego had conquered the screen, not by pretending to be something else, but by embracing exactly what it was. It didn't need capes or explosions. It needed imagination, and in doing so, it inspired a new generation of dreamers, not just to watch, but to build. Learning through play. How Lego is transforming education. When you hear the word Lego, you probably think of playrooms, birthday presents, or epic castles on the living room floor. But walk into a modern classroom in Denmark, Singapore, or the United States, and you might find students using Lego not just to play, but to learn. Because Lego isn't just a toy. It's become one of the most powerful educational tools in the world. From floor to classroom. The idea began in the 1980s, when educators noticed that children who played with Lego developed strong spatial reasoning and problem-solving skills. They weren't just stacking bricks, they were planning ahead, testing hypotheses, collaborating in teams, failing, fixing, and trying again. It was engineering in disguise. Lego took notice, and in 1986, they launched a pilot program called Lego Dacta, which later became Lego Education, a full department dedicated to combining play and pedagogy. Their mission? Learning through play isn't the opposite of serious learning. It is serious learning. What happens when kids build? Give a group of children a Lego challenge. Build a bridge that holds weight, or a wind-powered car, and something magical happens. They negotiate roles. Who designs? Who builds? They prototype, test, and revise. They take ownership of the learning process. They build confidence, not just constructions. It's active, engaging, and deeply human. Unlike rote memorization or worksheets, Lego-based learning taps into curiosity and intrinsic motivation, the real fuel behind lifelong learning. Coding with Lego. One of Lego Education's biggest breakthroughs came with the launch of Lego Mindstorms in 1998. It was a revolutionary kit that combined Lego Technic pieces, sensors and motors, programmable bricks. Suddenly, students weren't just building vehicles. They were creating robots that could move, sense light, follow paths, or even solve mazes. Mindstorms introduced children as young as 10 to the principles of engineering, computer science, logical thinking, and they loved it. Schools began using Lego to teach STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, in ways that felt like play. Students who struggled with traditional methods came alive when asked to program a robot to dance or rescue a minifigure from a trap. In recent years, Lego added new tools like Spike Prime for middle schools, We Do for early learners, Lego Brick Motion, exploring physics through play. Each kit is hands-on, modular, and designed for experimentation, not perfection. Teachers as facilitators. Lego Education doesn't just sell kits. They train teachers to become facilitators of creative learning. Instead of lecturing, teachers guide questions like, "What do you notice about how this moves? How can we make it stronger? What would happen if we changed this piece?" Students become engineers, scientists, storytellers, even philosophers. A Lego lesson is often filled with laughter, surprise, and those wonderful, aha, moments. Global reach. Lego Education is now active in over 100 countries. Their programs are used in public schools, private academies, homeschooling communities, robotics competitions like First Lego League. Every year, tens of thousands of students around the world compete in Lego-based STEM tournaments, solving real-world problems like climate change or urban transportation. They learn teamwork, creativity, and public speaking, all through a medium that began as a humble wooden duck. More than just skills. Perhaps the most important lesson Lego teaches in school isn't technical. It's emotional. When a child sees their creation fall and rebuilds it. When a group overcomes disagreement and succeeds together. When imagination leads to invention. That's when real education happens. And Lego is at the heart of it. Lego Education reminds us that play is not a break from learning, it's how learning begins. In a world that often prizes test scores over imagination, Lego offers a bold reminder. To build a better future, we must first learn how to play. Fan stories. How Lego changed my life. Lego is more than a toy. For many people, it's a lifeline, a source of comfort, inspiration, and identity. From Tokyo to Toronto, from Cape Town to Krakow, the little brick has left a big mark. Let's hear the voices of those who know it best, the fans. 1. Alex, the architect from Poland. I grew up in Krakow during the 1990s. My parents didn't have much, but one Christmas I got a small Lego city set, just a police car and 2 minifigures. That one gift changed everything. I built it, rebuilt it, took it apart, made it into something completely new. Then I started sketching buildings on graph paper, trying to recreate them in Lego. Today, I'm a licensed architect. I still keep that original set, a little dusty, a little scratched, on a shelf in my office. When clients ask about my childhood, I just point to the Lego car. That's where it all began. 2. Hannah, the teacher from Japan. My students don't all speak the same language. I teach in a rural town in Hokkaido, and some children are immigrants. Communication is hard, but then I brought in a box of Lego bricks. No instructions, no lesson plan, just colors, shapes, and space to build. In 20 minutes, they were laughing together, pointing, combining ideas. I saw Korean and Japanese students build a dragon together, without sharing a word, just bricks. Now we use Lego every week. Not just for fun, but for teamwork, empathy, and expression. For these kids, Lego is a universal language. 3. Jamal, the prisoner who found peace. I was in prison for 6 years. Bad decisions, no future, nothing to believe in. One day, a volunteer came to our block with bags of Lego sets. I laughed. You think I'm 5 years old? But that night, I opened one. It was a spaceship. I followed the instructions, felt the pieces click. For the first time in years, I built something instead of breaking it. It became my therapy, my escape, and slowly, my mirror. I realized, if I can build this ship, maybe I can rebuild myself. I'm out now. I run workshops for youth in my neighborhood. We use Lego to talk about choices, about creation, about second chances. 4. Emma, the 12-year-old from the UK. I'm autistic. Sometimes I don't like loud noises or big groups. School is hard, but when I build Lego, I feel safe. I can focus. I can make something perfect, or messy, and no one says it's wrong. I built Hogwarts last year. All of it. It took 2 months, and I never gave up. My dad says Lego is like my superpower. When I build, I feel proud. Someday I want to be a Lego designer. 5. Luis, the grandpa in Brazil. I'm 71. My hands shake a little. My eyes aren't great, but every Saturday, my grandson João comes over with his Lego sets, and we build for hours. We make robots, boats, castles, weird animals. We argue. We laugh. He teaches me how to find the right pieces. I teach him patience. I never had Lego as a boy. But now I feel like a boy again. These are just 5 stories, among millions. Each one proves a simple truth. Lego is not about age, ability, or background. It's about the human need to create. Behind every brick is a builder. And behind every builder is a story. Inside the brick, the designers who shape our imagination. Every Lego set you've ever built, from a tiny spaceship to a 1,000-piece castle, began with a blank page and a wild idea. But behind that idea stands someone with a pencil, a passion, and a childlike sense of wonder. These are the Lego designers. And their job? To turn imagination into something real, buildable, and fun for millions. Who designs Lego sets? Lego designers aren't just engineers. They're part artist, part dreamer, part psychologist. They come from all over the world. Architects from Germany. Industrial designers from Canada. Toy lovers from South Korea. Even AFOLs, adult fans of Lego, who turned passion into profession. Most begin with a love of building. Some studied design or engineering. Others started out as kids who just never stopped playing. One thing unites them. They believe in the magic of the brick. The process, from idea to box. Designing a Lego set is no simple task. Here's what it really takes. 1. Concept brainstorming. Teams sit around whiteboards pitching ideas. What if we combined a jungle temple with a time machine? There are no bad ideas, only endless possibilities. 2. Digital prototyping. Designers use software like Lego Digital Designer or Studio to create models virtually. They test structure, piece count, and play functions. 3. Physical builds. Once a design passes the digital phase, it's built by hand, sometimes dozens of times, using real bricks. This helps catch structural weaknesses or boring sections. 4. Playtesting with kids. Yes, real kids test the sets. Lego invites children to build prototypes and give feedback. Too hard. I want more spinning things. Can the dragon shoot fire? 5. Instruction booklet creation. Each step must be clear enough for a 6-year-old to follow, without words. Designers work with visual editors to ensure clarity and flow. 6. Packaging and marketing. The final product is photographed, boxed, and sent to shelves worldwide. From concept to store, the journey can take 12 to 24 months. The pressure of creativity. It sounds like a dream job, and it is. But it's also full of pressure. Designers must work within strict part limits, cost matters. Balance creativity with safety regulations. Anticipate trends 2 years ahead. Accept feedback, even rejection, from kids, managers, and marketing teams. Some days are filled with fun. Others are spent adjusting a roof by 1 millimeter for 3 hours. Still, they keep going. Because they know what it feels like when a child opens a new Lego box and gasps with joy. That moment is worth every brick. Stories from the inside. Christine from Denmark. She designed the Lego Friends sets. Her biggest challenge? Making builds that appeal to girls and respect their intelligence. Girls don't just want pink. They want smart stories. Javier from Spain. He worked on Lego Star Wars. We had to make the Millennium Falcon with fewer parts, and still satisfy superfans who know every detail. The day it launched, I cried. Maya from Canada. She helped design Lego Dots, the creative bracelet series. I love that kids can wear their builds. It's Lego you can take with you. When fans become designers, Lego now hires fans directly. Some AFOLs submit ideas through Lego Ideas. Others join as junior designers and rise through the ranks. One famous case? A fan named Jason Alleman built working kinetic Lego sculptures online. His work was so popular, Lego invited him to co-design official sets, like the Lego Ideas pop-up book. He went from bedroom builder to professional designer. The soul of the brick. Behind every Lego set, there's a person, someone who poured hours into curves, angles, color choices, and play value. They don't just ask, "How does this look?" They ask, "How will this make a child feel?" Excited? Proud? Curious? Because at the end of the day, Lego design isn't about bricks. It's about experiences. And the best designers know, if it sparks wonder, it's a good build. Building a better world. Lego's Green Revolution. In a world increasingly aware of climate change, pollution, and waste, even the most beloved brands face a question. What kind of world are we building? For Lego, a company that has built its identity on play, imagination, and childhood joy, that question became personal. How can a plastic toy become part of a sustainable future? The answer: brick by brick. The problem with plastic. Let's face it, Lego bricks are made of plastic. And plastic has a reputation problem. Each brick is made to last for generations, a good thing for play, but a challenge for the planet. Lego knew this, and they didn't run from it. Instead, they faced it head-on. In 2018, Lego made a bold announcement. By 2030, all Lego bricks would be made from sustainable materials. Not just the boxes or the instructions, but the bricks themselves. A new generation of bricks. The first step? Finding an alternative that feels just like the classic Lego brick, same clutch power, same color, same durability. In 2019, Lego introduced its first plant-based plastic parts, made from sugarcane. These green elements included trees, leaves, and bushes. You'd never know the difference. They look and feel just like traditional bricks. By 2021, Lego had developed a recycled pet prototype brick, made from discarded plastic bottles. It took over 250 materials scientists and engineers to get it right. Today, the company continues testing and refining these sustainable bricks, not for marketing, but for real, long-term change. Greener packaging. Lego also transformed how its products are packed and shipped. Plastic bags being replaced with recyclable paper pouches. Boxes now use FSC-certified cardboard. Packaging designs optimized to reduce size and shipping weight. The goal is clear: 100% sustainable packaging by 2025. Renewable energy in action. Building a better world doesn't stop with the products. Lego also transformed its operations. By 2020, all Lego factories and offices ran on 100% renewable energy. They installed solar panels on buildings across Europe and Asia. They supported offshore wind farms to offset their carbon footprint. And they didn't stop there. Lego invested over $400 million into environmental efforts, not just in products, but in education, outreach, and activism. Lego Replay. Bricks that never die. Lego bricks are durable. They don't break easily. But what happens when kids outgrow them? In 2019, Lego launched Lego Replay, a donation program in the US and expanding globally. Here's how it works. 1. Families send in used bricks. 2. Lego sorts, sanitizes, and repackages them. 3. The bricks are donated to schools and nonprofit organizations. Tens of thousands of kids who couldn't afford Lego now get to build, learn, and dream, all thanks to the creativity of others. Teaching kids to care. Lego uses its global influence to teach the next generation about sustainability. In sets, you'll find eco-friendly city builds, solar panels and electric cars, wildlife rescue and ocean cleanup missions. Even Lego Friends characters now focus on nature, recycling, and protecting the planet. Through play, children learn that they can make a difference. Walking the talk. Many brands talk about going green. Few commit with Lego's intensity. Because for Lego, sustainability isn't a trend, it's a responsibility. They understand this truth. If we want kids to believe they can build anything, we have to give them a world worth building in. Ideas from the people. How Lego fans create official sets. Imagine you spend a rainy weekend building the Great Wall of China out of Lego. You post it online. A few friends love it. Then a few hundred strangers do too. Soon it spreads across the world. Months later, Lego calls you. We'd like to turn your design into an official Lego set. Are you in? Sounds like a dream, right? That dream is real, and it lives on a platform called Lego Ideas. What is Lego Ideas? Launched in 2008, originally as Kwasu in Japan, Lego Ideas is a platform where anyone can submit their own Lego set ideas, from kids to adults, beginners to master builders. Here's how it works. 1. You create a unique Lego model. 2. You upload it with photos, description, and story. 3. Other users vote. 4. If your idea gets 10,000 supporters, Lego reviews it. 5. If approved, it becomes a real, boxed Lego set, with your name on it. Oh, and you earn 1% of net sales. Yes, really, from basement to box. Over the years, Lego Ideas has brought dozens of fan-built models to life. The NASA Saturn V rocket, The Central Perk Cafe from Friends. A fully functional typewriter. A Home Alone house with booby traps. Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, recreated in bricks. Each one began with a single builder's passion. LEGO works with the original creator, refining the design to meet safety and production standards, then releases it globally, often with massive success. Some sets sell out in hours. A community of creators. LEGO Ideas isn't just about winning, it's about sharing. Thousands of builders from all over the world post trains, castles, dinosaurs, famous landmarks, fictional characters, robots that sort candy. They leave comments, give suggestions, cheer each other on. It's not just a platform, it's a creative community. Builders grow, ideas evolve, new friendships are formed, and everyone shares the same belief. I can build something the world will love. Why it matters. LEGO Ideas represents a shift in how companies think. It says, we don't have all the answers. You, the fans, have ideas we've never thought of. We're listening. It's crowdsourcing meets creativity, and it shows deep respect for the LEGO community. It also teaches a powerful lesson. Great ideas don't need a boardroom. Sometimes, they start on a bedroom floor. Stories from LEGO Ideas creators. Donat Fehérvári, Hungary, designed the globe. I always wanted to be a cartographer as a kid. Now I have a LEGO globe sold around the world. It's surreal. Ben Alder, UK, the typewriter. I wanted to honor my dad, who loved typewriters. LEGO turned it into something people could build and display with pride. Viv Grinnell, UK, Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone. I was just a fan. I had no background in design. But I had passion, and LEGO helped bring it to life. Every brick begins with a dream. Whether it's a piano that plays real music, or a bonsai tree with interchangeable leaves, LEGO Ideas proves one thing. You don't have to work for LEGO to become LEGO. You just need an idea, and the courage to share it. So what are you waiting for? Your next big idea might already be in your hands. The LEGO effect. How the brick shapes the brain. It starts with a simple question. Where does this piece go? But behind that small question lies something much bigger. Because when you build with LEGO, you're not just passing time, you're rewiring your brain. What science says. Neuroscientists, educators, and psychologists agree. Building with LEGO improves brain function. Why? Because LEGO activates multiple parts of the brain at once. Visual spatial reasoning. Understanding where parts go in 3D space. Fine motor control. Using fingers with precision and care. Executive function, planning, sequencing, and following through. Creative thinking, trying, failing, adapting, and innovating. Emotional regulation, calming focus and satisfaction from progress. It's mindfulness with structure. It's engineering with play. For children, a foundation for life. LEGO teaches kids far more than how to build. It teaches them patience. Some builds take hours. That's okay. Resilience. Mistakes are expected. Fixing them is part of the fun. Collaboration. Team building is common, and disagreements happen. Confidence. Look what I made, becomes a source of pride. In fact, studies show that kids who regularly play with construction toys like LEGO perform better in math and science later on. They're not just stacking bricks. They're building problem solvers. For adults, focus, flow, and healing. Adults often rediscover LEGO during stressful periods, burnout, anxiety, grief. Why? Because building engages the hands and frees the mind. It creates a state of flow, full focus, low stress, and deep satisfaction. Psychologists call this therapeutic play. Hospitals now offer Lego-based therapy for stroke patients recovering fine motor skills, adults battling dementia, veterans with PTSD, children with autism who benefit from structured, predictable environments. And in daily life, millions of people say Lego helps them sleep better, worry less, feel proud again, all from a plastic brick. The power of repetition. There's something deeply human about placing one brick, then another, then another. Like knitting, calligraphy, or playing piano scales, Lego offers rhythm. And in that rhythm, the brain relaxes, even heals. When we build, we simplify the world. We create order out of chaos. And we regain a sense of control. Thinking in systems. Lego also teaches systems thinking, the ability to see how small parts affect the big picture. This is a skill used by scientists, CEOs, designers, engineers, teachers. It begins with questions like, if I change this here, what happens there? Can I solve this problem differently? What rules make this system work? In a world filled with complexity, this mindset is priceless. And it starts with a brick. Creativity with constraints. Ironically, Lego gives freedom by limiting your choices. You can't bend bricks. You can't glue them together. You can't create new shapes. You must work within what exists. And that's where real creativity shines. Creativity doesn't mean doing anything. It means doing something new with what you have. This is the Lego effect. Limitations don't block imagination. They ignite it. A final thought. You don't have to be an artist to be creative. You don't have to be a child to play. And you don't need permission to imagine. Lego reminds us that our minds are still builders, no matter our age or background. All we need is to start. A world made of bricks. What will you build? The world is full of noise, deadlines, distractions, doubts. But somewhere, right now, there's a child on the floor, surrounded by bricks. She picks up a blue one, then a yellow one. No instructions, no rules, just imagination. She's not just playing, she's building. We are all builders. At some point, many of us stop believing we're creative. We tell ourselves, I'm not an artist. I'm not good at making things. But the truth? You were born to build. You started with blocks, then words, then dreams. And somewhere deep inside, you still know how to put pieces together, one by one, until something wonderful appears. That's what Lego teaches us. A legacy of possibility. From a small workshop in Berlin to classrooms in Nairobi. From a wooden duck to a flying dragon. From a handful of bricks to a billion bricks across the globe. Lego is more than plastic. It's a philosophy. That failure isn't final. That play is powerful. That imagination is a skill we must never lose. It's about connection, not just of bricks, but of people, generations, ideas. It's about seeing the world not as it is, but as it could be. What will you build? This is your invitation. Not to buy a set. Not to follow a manual. But to take the pieces of your life, your memories, your talents, your mistakes, and build something new. Build connection. Build courage. Build your story. You don't need to wait. You don't need permission. You already have everything you need. All that's left is to start. Because in a world made of bricks, anything is possible. And you? You were born to build. Thank you for listening to this audiobook. The Lego Story. How Failure Built the World's Favorite Toy. Subscribe to Learn Smarter 1976 for more inspiring stories, powerful lessons, and motivational journeys, told in simple English for learners and dreamers around the world. Drop a comment below. What's the most amazing thing you've ever built, in Lego or in life? Turn on notifications, because the next story might change your day. Stay creative, stay curious. Until next time, keep building.